In the shadowed sanctum of valutainment's unblinking gaze, where the ghosts of scandals past mingle with the clamor of fresh vendettas, Patrick Bet-David summons his cadre once more. It's November 7, 2025, a crisp Friday morning, just 3 days after New York City's mayoral earthquake and amid the smoldering embers of a Democratic dynasty's quiet implosion, and episode 680 of the PBD podcast ignites like a flare in the fog. Titled, Trump vs. Mamdani, Pelosi retires, Epstein and Comey's deal plus Shapiro slams Tucker, this 1-hour 58-minute juggernaut, streamed live on YouTube at 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, reunites the home team in full force. PBD, the relentless ringmaster, Tom Ellsworth, dissecting dollars like a surgeon, Vinny Oshana, the comic scalpel carving through pretense, and Adam Sosnick, the Wall Street whisperer with a knack for the kill shot. No guest steals the thunder this time. It's an internal inferno, a narrative quilt stitched from betrayal, exodus, and brotherly bloodletting in the conservative Colosseum. The air crackles with PBD's signature alchemy, raw headlines forged into ideological iron, leaning hard into a triumphant MAGA lens, where Trump's barbs are badges of honor and liberal fractures are fireworks for the faithful. The episode erupts with Trump vs. Mamdani, a grudge match that feels less like a policy debate and more like a heavyweight bout in the ruins of Gotham's progressive dream. Zoran Mamdani, the telegenic DSA firebrand whose meteoric rise had once painted him as the anti-Trump avenger, vowing rent freezes, migrant sanctuaries, and a people's budget to defy federal purse strings, lies bloodied on the electoral canvas. His November 4th defeat to Andrew Cuomo, a 52-48 squeaker amid whispers of machine politics and low turnout, wasn't just a loss, it was a rout. Enter Trump, fresh from Mar-a-Lago's gilded throne, who on November 5th blasts Mamdani via Truth Social as a commie clown whose socialist fever dream would have turned NYC into San Francisco on steroids, exodus guaranteed. PBD replays the clip with relish, his voice a gravelly crescendo. This is Trump at his surgical best, one tweet, and he buries the guy deeper than Cuomo's scandals. Oshana leaps in with a pitch-perfect Mamdani impression, all wide-eyed idealism crumbling into sobs, "My falafel empire! Trump's tariffs on chickpeas." Drawing guttural laughs that echo the panel's schadenfreude. Sosnick crunches the Exodus angle, citing Zillow data, post-election, searches for move from NYC spiked 28%, with Florida and Texas as top destinations, blaming Mamdani's near win for spooking investors. $2.3 billion in venture capital fled in Q4 alone. Ellsworth ties it to macro mayhem, warning that Mamdani's proposed 25% wealth tax on billionaires could have shaved 1.2% off the city's GDP, accelerating the brain drain already hollowing out Manhattan's tech corridors. The segment simmers with conservative catharsis. Trump's not just punching down, he's prophesying, framing Mamdani's fall as divine justice for a party that bet on TikTok revolutionaries over taxpayers. Yet, beneath the glee lurks a sharper edge. PBD muses if this signals the DSA's death knell, with young voters, under 30 turnout dipped to 32%, souring on socialism amid 3.8% inflation gnawing at their gig economy dreams. As the laughter fades into a taut hush, the conversation coils toward Pelosi retires. A sepia-toned elegy for the Iron Lady of Capitol Hill, whose exit feels less like a curtain call and more like a guillotine's whisper. Nancy Pelosi, the 85-year-old architect of Obamacare, impeachments, and a $120 million plus real estate portfolio that spans San Francisco wine country to Napa vineyards, dropped her bombshell on November 6th. No run for House leadership in the 119th Congress, citing time to pass the gavel after 4 decades in the trenches. It's no shock, whispers swirled since her 2022 gavel handover to Hakeem Jeffries, but the timing stings, landing like a parting shot amid Democratic soul-searching post-Cuomo's NYC coup and Harris's 2024 ashes. PBD frames it as the end of an era, the dawn of delusion, scrolling through archival clips of Pelosi's iconic rips, the Obamacare signing, the January 6 speech, the frozen gaze in that viral 2019 presser. She was the queen bee, stinging Trump, buzzing through scandals, but now? The hive swarming with amateurs, he intones, his eyes narrowing like a hawk spotting prey. Vinny Oshana, in rare somber mode, quips, Nancy's retiring to her freezer aisle, stock up on ice cream, America, but pivots to pathos, noting her $1.2 billion net worth. Forbes pegs it at $115 million, but Sosnick inflates with dark money jabs as a symbol of DC's gilded rot. Sosnick, channeling his hedge fund venom, roasts the portfolio. While families scrape by on $60,000, she's flipping stocks like it's fantasy football, insider tips or just genius. Ellsworth delivers the data dagger. Pelosi's trades outperformed the S&P by 65% during her speakership, fueling ethics probes that now haunt Jeffries' slim majority. The panel weaves a tapestry of what-ifs. Would a Pelosi redux have corralled the squad's radicals, or accelerated the party's centrist purge? PBD lands on irony. Her exit empowers Trump 2.0, with the GOP House eyeing subpoenas for her J6 committee alums. It's a bittersweet valediction, laced with respect for her steel. She'd eat most Republicans for breakfast. But unyielding in critique, Pelosi's reign bloated entitlements, $2T plus in spending, and deepened divides, leaving Democrats adrift in a post-Nancy void. The plot thickens into the episode's darkest vein, Epstein and Comey's deal, a rabbit hole that plunges from tabloid whisper to national nightmare, exhuming the specter of elite impunity. Fresh leaks from a November 5th unsealed court filing in the Southern District of New York, stemming from Ghislaine Maxwell's ongoing appeals, reveal a shadowy 2018 plea bargain. James Comey, the ousted FBI director turned corporate oracle, allegedly brokered a non-prosecution agreement for Epstein's inner circle in exchange for dirt on political foes. The kicker. Epstein, per the docs, dangled smoking gun tapes implicating Trump in Mossad-linked ops, a nod to his Epstein flights, but was rebuffed. Instead, the deal shielded Comey's own Russia probe ties, with whispers of a $10 million hush payout funneled through a Delaware shell. PBD's voice drops an octave as he cues the redacted PDF on screen. This isn't conspiracy, it's court-stamped. Epstein wasn't suicide. He was silenced, and Comey's fingerprints are everywhere. The panel recoils in orchestrated outrage. Oshana's Comey's book deal? More like a plea deal, elicits grim chuckles, while Sosnick connects dots to the deep state Rolodex. Epstein's ledger lists 150-plus elites, from Clintons to Gates, but the Comey angle explains the FBI's lost evidence post-2019 jailhouse tragedy. Ellsworth, ever the numbers man, tallies the toll. Epstein's estate settled 200-plus suits for $600 million, yet no major indictments beyond Maxwell, fueling 72% public distrust in the DOJ. Pew, November 2025. PBD presses the Trump exoneration. No tape surfaced, but the ploy reeks of 2016 election sabotage, echoing Russiagate's ghosts. The segment spirals into speculation. Did Comey's higher loyalty extend to self-preservation? But grounds in substance. FOIA dumps confirm Epstein's 2008 Florida sweetheart deal, Comey-era DOJ oversight, was a template for the 2018 fiasco. It's the podcast's moral core, a clarion against untouchable cabals, with PBD urging viewers, demand the full files, before they vanish like Epstein. The crescendo crashes in Shapiro slams Tucker, a fraternal feud that cleaves the right-wing firmament like lightning through a family tree. On November 4th, during a Daily Wire livestream dissecting the NYC results, Ben Shapiro, the fast-talking neocon savant, unleashes on Tucker Carlson, his Fox exile turned ex-impresario, over Israel's Gaza endgame. Shapiro, defending Netanyahu's precision strikes on Hamas remnants, post-ceasefire flare-ups killed 12 on November 3rd, accuses Tucker of America Last Isolationism for platforming paleocon critics like Candace Owens. You're not journalism, you're jihadist apologetic. Tucker's turning X into Al Jazeera. Tucker, live on his show hours later, fires back. Ben's a warmonger in Yarmulke. Israel's forever wars bleed our treasure while he shills for AIPAC. It's blood sport, with clips trading barbs like broadsides. PBD, a Shapiro ally, doesn't mince. Tucker's a genius interviewer, but this? It's ego-eclipsing empire. Slamming Ben risks fracturing the coalition Trump needs for 2026 midterms. Oshana mimics Shapiro's staccato fury. Facts don't care about your feelings, Tucker. While Sosnick tallies the fallout, Daily Wire subs dipped 3% overnight, Tucker's ex-engagement surged 15%, but unified donor checks, Adelson heirs to Murdoch, could freeze. Ellsworth forecasts fiscal ripples. U.S. aid to Israel, $3.8 billion annual, hangs in balance if the rift widens, potentially inflating defense stocks amid Iran tensions. The panel parses the schism, Shapiro's hawkish Zionism versus Tucker's populist restraint, as conservatism's crossroads, global cop or fortress America. PBD brokers uneasy peace. Both bleed red, white, and blue, but infighting hands the swamp the win. As the credits crawl and the studio exhales, episode 680 lingers like smoke from a spent fuse, a narrative mosaic of triumphs, Trump's Mamdani mic drop, farewells, Pelosi's gilded goodbye, horrors, Epstein's endless echo, and fractures, Shapiro-Tucker thunder. At 1:58, it's PBD's leanest yet, a pressure cooker of prescience that nails the zeitgeist. Democrats in disarray, elites exposed, and the right's razor edge. Strengths. The seamless segues, Pelosi's retirement as Mamdani's mentor void, Epstein's deal fueling Shapiro's deep state rants, and Vinny's levity amid gravity. Weaknesses. The MAGA monocle, scant sympathy for Mamdani's anti-poverty pitch or nuance on Tucker's anti-interventionism, risking echo chamber fatigue. Substantiated by real-time drops, court filings, live clips, it scores a 9/10 for pulse-pounding relevance, igniting X with hashtag Comey deal, 1.2M posts, and hashtag Shapiro vs. Tucker wars. In this hall of mirrors, where power's whispers become roars, PBD Podcast 680 isn't mere dissection, it's divination, foretelling a 2026 defined by reckonings unfinished. Trump's laugh echoes longest, but the shadows? They stretch far.